If your teen seems fine but constantly drained, you are not alone. Every day, families across the UK describe the same pattern: phones on the bedside table, late night scrolling, and young people trying to learn, revise, and grow up while living inside an endless stream of notifications. This video is for parents, teachers, and teenagers who want a calmer, clearer way to think about social media. 1 real benefit, 3 quiet risks, 5 early warning signs, and 4 practical changes your family can try this week. Section 1. Today's teenager, always online. Picture a normal weekday. A teenager wakes up and checks their phone before they even say good morning. On the way to school, they scroll through TikTok or Snapchat, half listening to whoever is next to them on the bus or in the car. At break time and lunch, there is more checking, more clips, more messages to keep up with. After school, homework competes with group chats, reels, and gaming. By the time they get into bed, the phone is still there, the room is dark, and the glow of the screen becomes the last thing they see before sleep. For many young people, it is hard to imagine life without this constant background hum of online life. Let me be clear, the aim of this video is not to say social media is all bad or to tell anyone to throw their phone away. The aim is to understand how these platforms can both support teenagers and slowly chip away at attention, sleep, and self-esteem, often in ways that are easy to miss until a young person is really struggling. Section 2. 1 real benefit. First, a genuine benefit. For many teenagers, social media brings connection. It helps them stay in touch with friends, especially when people move schools, countries, or social groups. It can create spaces where young people who feel different in their local community finally find others who share their interests, culture, or identity. Some teenagers also say it helps them feel less alone, especially when they follow creators who speak openly about mental health, studying, and growing up. Others use it to learn revision tips, languages, creative skills, and news from around the world. So the message here is not connection is the problem. The question is, when does helpful connection turn into something that drains attention, steals sleep, and quietly erodes confidence? To answer that, it helps to look at 3 main risks. Section 3. 3 quiet risks. Risk 1. Attention and focus. Social media platforms are designed to keep people watching, tapping, and scrolling. Fast-moving feeds, autoplay videos, and constant notifications reward quick reactions, not deep focus. Over time, this can make schoolwork and revision feel boring by comparison, even for bright, motivated teenagers. Many teens start homework with good intentions, but a notification pops up. They open one app for a second, and 10 or 20 minutes disappear. When that pattern repeats most days, marks can slip, tasks get rushed, and young people may start to believe they are lazy or not smart enough. Often the real issue is a distracted environment. Risk 2. Sleep. Sleep is one of the biggest quiet casualties of heavy social media use. Nighttime scrolling pushes bedtimes later. Screen light can make it harder to fall asleep. And late night messages can wake a teenager or tempt them back onto the phone when they should be resting. Poor sleep is closely linked with low mood, irritability, difficulty concentrating, and increased anxiety. Risk 3. Self-esteem, comparison, and anxiety. Teenagers are still working out who they are and where they fit in. Social media can make this harder by constantly showing filtered images and carefully edited highlight reels. It is easy to forget that most people post their best moments, not their arguments, failures, or quiet doubts. Constant comparison can make a teenager feel as if they are always behind in looks, popularity, relationships, exam results, or lifestyle. Even if they know logically that photos are staged or edited, seeing those images every day can still change how they feel about themselves. Not every teenager is affected in the same way, and social media is rarely the only reason a young person struggles. But when attention, sleep, and self-esteem are being chipped away at the same time, the risk of mental health difficulties increases. Section 4. 5 early warning signs. So what should families, teachers, and teenagers themselves look out for? Here are 5 early warning signs that social media may be shifting from a helpful tool into a quiet problem. 1. constantly tired or staying up late because of scrolling. 2, irritable or restless when asked to put the phone away. 3, marks, hobbies, or chores slipping as screen time goes up. 4, mood changing quickly after being online, suddenly upset, angry, or deflated. 5, withdrawing from family or offline friends while spending more time on feeds. Seeing one sign does not mean a teenager is addicted or that something is seriously wrong, but noticing these patterns early gives families a chance to talk, adjust habits, and get support if needed before it becomes harder to change. Frame it as an experiment for 1 week, then notice changes in mood, energy, and concentration. Action 3, add offline anchors, not just remove screens. Removing screen time without adding anything else usually leads to boredom and arguments. Instead, add offline anchors, simple activities that make the week feel fuller without a screen. That could be sport, music, art, clubs, volunteering, faith activities, family walks, board games, or cooking together. The goal is not to fill every minute, it is to make sure life still contains moments that feel good without likes, views, or streaks. Action 4, talk openly about algorithms and feelings. Short, regular conversations beat one long lecture. Try curious questions. What do you enjoy about this app? What posts make you feel better or worse? How do you feel after an hour online? And explain algorithms simply. These apps show you more of what you watch and click, even if it makes you feel worse. That turns social media into something a teenager can notice, question, and manage. Most importantly, let your teenager know they can come to you if something online makes them feel scared, ashamed, or overwhelmed, and that you will solve it together, not react with instant punishment. That sense of safety makes it far more likely they will speak up. Section 6, bringing it together. Social media is not going away. Used thoughtfully, it can support friendships, creativity, and learning. Used without limits, it can quietly drain attention, disturb sleep, and undermine self-esteem at a stage of life when young people are already vulnerable. The aim is not perfection. It is balance, enough connection to feel included, enough rest to think clearly, and enough real-world life to remember that a teenager's value is never defined by a screen. To end, here is my question for you. What is one change around phones or social media that your family would actually be willing to try this week? Share your idea in the comments. Other families may benefit from what works for you.